I just wanted to compare the Mosin, the 9130 and the M39. Um, and one of them's in a little bit better shape than the other. So it's, I can't necessarily compare the accuracy that well. If you go to like Iraq Veteran 8888's channel, he can show you a bunch of different Mosin carbines that shoot very well. This one, the rifling's wore out on it, and the throat and everything, and the bolts real loose. The tolerances on it just aren't that good. So without further ado, let's kind of take a look at these two rifles. Okay, so first up we have the M39. This is my buddy's rifle. I don't know too much about it, to be quite honest. Its history or anything like that. It's an Ishiavek, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, rifle. It's got a lot of different markings on it, but most everything has that Ishiavek crest on it. The rifling's not that good in it. The throat's kind of been shot out. I didn't even look at the crown. The crown has some nicks and stuff like that, and some dents in it. But it's not going to shoot that great, being in the condition that it's in. The bolt's a little wobbly and stuff like that. It doesn't fit as tight as mine does. I will say this, I think the trigger might be a hair better on this one, but anyway, so little differences between the two. Obviously, length. Length is a huge difference between these two. One of them is a hell of a lot handier than the other one. So I might take some pictures of me standing next to these things, but as you can tell, there is a massive difference in the length. And the M39 is a lot handier as opposed to the 9130. You really can, take this and I think it would be a lot better in urban combat than that 9130 is, especially, during World War II and like Stalingrad or something. I would have wanted one of these. It's a lot shorter, and it seems a little sturdier in its construction, and I think that has a lot to do with everything being a little bit shorter and more compact, so it's not hanging out there and kind of loose and stuff. But it was a decent amount of fun to shoot it. Like I said, it wasn't that accurate, so it wasn't that enjoyable. But length is a big thing. The sights on this thing only go out to 1,000 meters as opposed to 2,000, which they all should have just been 1,000 anyway. Whatever. But it does seem a lot sturdier. Like I said, the trigger on it definitely felt a little bit better. One of the other major differences is the bayonet. Whereas the Mosin bayonet, is detachable and stands on its own and stuff like that. The one on the M39 is permanently affixed. And it swings out. It's got a little cutout right here for the bayonet to fit in the stock. And so you pull down on this sleeve, it starts rotating. You can rotate it all the way around, and then you grab the sleeve, which is spring-loaded, pull up, rotate it over a little bit more, and then the ring will fit down around the barrel. Now, that design, in my opinion, definitely works a little bit better than having the standalone bayonet, because I guarantee you there's a lot of Russian troops that lost these things. And it fits on there a lot easier than like my Mosin's bayonet does. But anyway, and I want to say that the bayonet on this one is shorter as well. So if we look at them side by side, the bayonet starts right there. Yeah, it's about 2/3 of the length of the 9130's bayonet. So it kind of keeps in with the theme of the being compact and a little bit easier to use. I would assume that cavalry troops or rear echelon soldiers would have had this, but it's still it's still a pretty cool and interesting rifle, and I can't believe how handy this thing is. Now, I will say this. I don't know if it was a difference in the manufacturing techniques, but the rear sight notch in this one is a little bit wider and a little bit deeper than on my 9130. And honestly, I like that. It gives me a little bit more room to set it in there and line everything up. The 9130, or at least mine, that rear sight notch is just a little too small. I'd rather have something a little bit wider and a little bit deeper. But that's the M39. And really, I mean, you've all seen my Mosin, you've seen the 9130s, but it's just a little comparison between the two. Mine shot very well. Very, very well. There's a video of that, and I'll leave a link to it. But, you know, if I found one that shot a little bit better, I'd probably want to pick it up because it is pretty cool, and it's a little bit handier to have. But overall, I'm perfectly satisfied with having a 9130 as opposed to, you know, one of these carbines. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and if you want to see some more Milcert videos, or you know, you want me to take this one and the 9130 out and compare them side by side, let me know. Maybe one of these days I'll get my buddy to let me grab all these rifles and literally just spend a day at the range with some paper and some rests and get some solid groups out of these. But thank y'all for watching. Have a great day.